Estate planning is much more than a will. It involves putting a person's legal and financial affairs in order so that the distribution of the estate goes to the intended beneficiaries in a proper and tax-effective manner. You might wonder what the components are of an estate plan. Well, firstly, there's the will. That's the central part of any estate plan and sets out how you want your estate to be distributed and who the beneficiaries are going to be. The second part of an estate plan is the testamentary trust. That's established under your will to make the distribution much more tax effective. It should also be considered in cases where there is a blended family or there's a risk of divorce amongst your children or they become involved in legal proceedings. The next part of any estate plan is superannuation. Many people think it can be gifted under a will, but it can't. It's a separate asset and the distribution of your superannuation is governed by the rules of the superannuation fund. The division of superannuation is governed by the rules of the superannuation fund itself. So you need to make sure that your death benefit nominations are in order to get the right division of your estate. The final part is the enduring power of attorney. An enduring power of attorney appoints a person to look after your affairs if you lose the capacity to do so. It covers things such as your health care, personal care and financial matters. It's very important if you've got a self-managed super fund to be able to appoint another trustee if you're unable to look after your superannuation fund. We should also talk about the executor. It's an important part of any estate plan. The executor applies to court for probate, calls in all the assets and then divides them among the intended beneficiaries. If there's a trust, the executor will also establish the trust. What if you die without a will? That's called intestacy. If you die without a will, the division of your estate is done according to a statutory formula, not in the way you want it to be divided. So if you're worried about that, you should ensure your will is prepared to divide your estate in the way you want to, not in the way the law says you have to. So you can see an estate plan is a complex process involving the will, testamentary trust, super and power of attorney. If you want it to work properly, you should see a specialist and seek proper professional advice to ensure your estate is going to be divided in the way you want to.